Hello and happy Friday. Welcome to my Friday Facebook Live. I am Sarah Shtello from Sassy Paper Crafts. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And today's project is this one. But first, I want to say happy December 3rd, I guess. It's already December somehow. And I do have a few things for December. So first is my host code, which you'll also find here on my desk. Every order gets a thank you from me this month, and orders over $50 get a special surprise gift. Here's that code. If you go shopping in my online store before you check out, just put in that host code and you will get your free gift from me. Secondly, I wanted to mention too my December email, because December kind of snuck up on me. My December email is a little late and will be going out tomorrow. So if you're not on my email list, click the link in the description here and sign up for that. You will get a free tutorial when you sign up for that. And also my pre-order from the new mini January to June catalog and celebration is in and will be here next week. I'm hoping by the time I go live next Friday so I can show you guys some goodies. So let's get started on this card, and let me just hold it up for you so you can see those snowflakes. I'm hoping the light is catching that little bit of sparkle. We are going to be doing a really cool technique that you can use with any stamp set, anything you may have, any colors you have. I just really like this technique. It's the baby wipe technique. And we're going to be using the Snowflake Wishes Stamp Set and the So Many Snowflakes dies. We're only going to be using 2 of the dies. You could do this with a punch bundle, anything. So for the dies, I use this one here and this one, and I will show you that in just a minute. But first, let's start with our stamping and our technique here. And actually, let me find my video. If you're watching me live, go ahead and leave a comment. If you're watching the replay, leave a comment too. You also might be watching this on YouTube, and there's no comments there, so let me refresh. The technology never works with me. So I have my stamps ready. I picked, let's see, I always get confused on which ones they are. I think it's this one. Is it? Yes, they're shown at 70%. So that one and this guy here, I think you can use any snowflake. The snowflakes I'm using really isn't what I wanted to show you. It's the technique, which we'll get to, and hopefully very soon once I can, there's the video. Let me just share that to the group, my VIP group. If you are not a part of the VIP group, there is also a link in the description for you to join that. I have exclusive lives there every Sunday. So I will be going live this Sunday. Haven't figured out a time yet, but I will be going live there Sunday. All right, so for this, you're going to need, I have a blank stamp case. That's pretty old. You could use a Tupperware or Tupperware lid, anything that's plastic that you don't mind getting a little messy. And then just a regular old baby wipe. It doesn't matter what kind. I have the Natural Care. I think I got these for like 80 cents. And I only use them for stamping. And you're just going to fold your baby wipe, put it in the stamp case or on your plastic lid. And I have 2 colors of re-inker here. I have Blushing Bride and Pool Party. And I'm just going to put a little bit of ink onto the baby wipe. And this is just pretty random. The one snowflake is a little bit large, so I kind of want a large surface here. And essentially, we are just making our own ink pad. I'm going to take some Blushing Bride and kind of fill in those spaces. And if you got a little bit of the baby wipe or the white showing from that, that is completely fine. Because as you stamp on it, it's going to kind of blend. I don't know which one's the cap to my Blushing Bride, but that's okay. I'm going to put a little bit more of that Pool Party in there. And then, like I said, we're essentially going to be making, this is our own ink pad here. So let me get some blacks out. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and use a D black. And this one I am using a C block. And then I just have a scrap piece somewhere. That's a little large. A scrap piece of basic white. Is that gonna fit? That should fit. So all I'm gonna do is just pick up some of the ink and then stamp onto my scrap paper. And it's okay to go around, kind of blend those colors a little bit. It kind of looks a little bit muddy at first, but once that ink and the baby wipe dry, I'm telling you, it's super pretty. So that is the technique I wanted to show you. And then I want to show you how I lined up the dies. So I used this guy here for a big one, and they don't line up perfectly because they're not meant to cut out these stamps. But I kind of liked how it gave it a nice little watercolor look. And I'll show you what I mean. I'm not going to cut these out because I already have some cut out. So once they get cut out, they look like that. And I just think that's so cool. It's such a cool technique and a cool look. I am going to get my die cutting machine out because we do have a little bit of embossing to do. And then another cool technique. Hello, Mary. I'm so glad you could join us today. It's 65 in Missouri today. Lucky lady. It is not 65 here in mid-Michigan. Let me tell you, I think it's supposed to snow later. I went out to get the mail and it was cold. I'm just cleaning off my stamps because I like to do that before I move on, because otherwise I stick my fingers in them and then there's just a mess. I ruin the project. It's a good time. Set that aside and grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And then I'm just grabbing the base plate and then gray number 4 plate. And then I have a piece of Pool Party that measures 2 1/4 by 5 1/4, and the pretty snowflakes from the Wintry 3D embossing folders. Now this embossing folder is not available right now. And recently, Stampin' Up! Has stopped doing back orders. So once something is gone, they're just not going to sell it anymore. They're not, because it used to be they'd put like 1,000 or so on back order. They're not doing that anymore. So once it's out, they just wait until they get more in, and then they will sell it again. So there are more of these embossing folders coming. I looked at the report today. And when you run it through, it does that, which is just beautiful all on its own. But I'm going to show you a fun way to give it just a little extra pop. Put my machine away. And if I was die cutting my snowflakes, I would have used the machine to do that. I had a sponge dauber out and ready to go, but I guess I'll use this one. It's fine. So this is a sponge dauber. It's a dirty sponge dauber. But these come in a pack of 5, and they're relatively inexpensive. And I'm just taking some Pool Party ink and my embossed layer here, and I'm just kind of going over it very lightly. I'm just going over all the raised up edges here, the little, and then so if you find too that you have too much ink on there, I like to just sponge the sides. It's very subtle, but gives it a nice little effect. And then after you sponge some of that sides off, you can just kind of lightly go over the snowflakes, the little dots. And like I said, I'm not going for full on coloring here. I'm just trying to get a little effect just to make it kind of pop off the card. I'm going to finish sponging the sides. Sorry, I just realized I might not be on the camera. That's fun. And while I have my ink pad out, I have a little strip of basic white. I forgot what this measures. Oh, I have a measure right there. So this is 2 1/4 by, actually it's not 2 1/4, 2 1/4 by 1 1/4. I don't like that measuring. I'm going to use this. 2 1/2 by 1 1/4. 2 1/2 by 1 1/4. That's correct. And don't worry about writing this down. I will have a blog post up around 4:30 with the details and the measurement. I'm just lining that up on my grid paper, and I picked the May Your Season Sparkle because these snowflakes are going to sparkle, and let me show you how they're going to sparkle. So I have my handy dandy Wink of Stella, and I'm just going to, I did it on these two already. I'm going to very lightly, this is a glitter pen, I'm going to go over the snowflakes very lightly. I don't want to push too hard and blend the colors or anything like that. I just want to very subtly, I already went over these, I'm just going to go a little bit more. If you push too hard, all that glitter will come out and make a mess. So let me show you. Hopefully you can see the glitter on there. And then I also have a piece of Blushing Bride that's 1/4 inch larger than my basic white. And I also thought these colors were just kind of fun, and it reminds me of winter. It also reminds me of like a nice baby card, so you could easily switch out the stamp set and make a cute baby card. Putting some dimensionals on there. And then I have a thick basic white card base that is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. I'm going to use my bone folder to burnish that edge. And then put a little bit of seal on our embossed piece. And then for the snowflakes, you could definitely use adhesive sheets. I have some leftover paper pumpkin glue dots, and these are smaller than our regular glue dots. So this is what I'm going to be using. And I'm just going to put one in each center. And if you want, you could put them on the ends too. I just kind of wanted them to hop off of the card. I put them all over on the example I showed, but it's kind of flat. So I want to see if I do it this way, if I can give them a little bit of lift, a little bit of pop. I'm just going to kind of fold the edges up a little before I stick them down. Put that one about there. And then just put our sentiment on. And wait, we're not done yet. I got a backing. I have some of the wonderful gems from the July to December mini. Now these are cherry cobbler and it's gold, but if you notice, some of them have a little bit less gold than others. Like these ones are really with the gold. So I kind of picked the ones that didn't have too much in it because I really wanted the snowflakes to be what sparkled. And if you don't have these also remind me of the elegant gems. So if you have those, the clear ones of those would work. Some just regular rhinestones or pearls. And that is it. So now let me bring in the other one. So yeah, I think I like just sticking it down in the middle because the snowflakes kind of come right off of the card that way. So I thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see another live from me, be sure to join my VIP group. I will be live this Sunday. And until next time, have a great weekend, everybody. Bye.